Your company, Siemens, like many other multinationals, has operations which are truly spread across the world. Is there a danger that something of the original identity of a company, the core reason for its success, can be lost?
Absolutely. The answer is yes, and very large organizations, whether that's a Siemens or it could be a Google or a Vodafone, whoever they are, there is an issue with all of that strength and breadth and size that you can sometimes, become a little bit too slow, not fast enough at driving your innovations. And all of us as organizations wrestle with this issue all the time. And and what we try to do is to instill a culture, to do as much as possible to empower at local level as much as possible. So Siemens doesn't operate as one entity with 350,000 people. You just couldn't possibly do that. So you break it down, into smaller divisions, then business units, segments, individual factories, and then in those factories, that's where you try and create more of the, maybe the faster innovation cycles, but always looking and learning where possible from the wider Siemens.
But at the macro level, why is a German company so appealing in Asia or indeed in Latin America, for example?
Yeah, well, I mean, you call us a German company, and we are a German company, but we do like to think of ourselves as a sort of a multi-local company, really. So, in Britain, we have a very British identity, and 93% of our people that work in our organisation, so 93% of our 14,000 people here are of British origin. 7% will be people who've migrated from Germany, the EU, or wider abroad. So we are very much part of Britain's engineering fabric, in the same way as we would be in Argentina or China. So we do always put that very local angle on it. And actually one of the other key things we do is we take our responsibility with regard to society in that regard very seriously. So we're definitely not the type of engineering organisation that says, we're going to invent and make everything in Germany and then we're just going to ship it over the border and sell it all in different territories. It's much more about engaging locally, creating jobs, doing R&D, manufacturing locally, adding value, and making sure that through that, we have a positive impact on the society. And that's something which also helps get us out of bed in the morning. It gets me out of bed in the morning. I mean, I love selling things, and I love it when we win a big contract. That's very exciting, and you can celebrate that. But actually, the real lasting impression we leave is the people we employ, and through that, the value we create, the salaries we pay, and the value we put back into society.
But that German influence, nonetheless, is very strong. You've been a very passionate advocate of Industry 4.0, the so-called fourth industrial revolution. I wonder, in layman's terms, whether you could explain exactly what Industry 4.0 is and why it's having such an impact.
So Industry 4.0 is basically you being able to go online, personalize your product. So let's make it a car, and you pick exactly what you want out of thousands of variants. You can even have your name written on the headrest because that's just what you fancy. And by the way, because this production is so efficient, it's not going to cost you much more to do that because it almost happens automatically. And then what will happen is that order will go into the production environment, and in the production environment, the factory will self-organize itself around the production. It will say, aha, here's a Jaguar Land Rover I've just ordered. It's going to be slightly longer than the normal version, so I'll go and pick up a certain chassis, and it will then start running down a production line, and the machines know it's your order, and they will say, this is Keshini that has ordered this, so I now need to do this. Right, where does it need to go next? Well, the next machine will tell this machine, I've now got capacity, so please send it over to me. So all of these machines and everything is communicating with one another. By the way, you can look into this production environment and see what's going on and where your product is, with webcams showing you what's happening. And ultimately, this product of yours will come out of the other end. All the history of the production process is stored, and you know, and you get delivered a fabulous product at a very, very good price, and you're happy because it's personalised to you personally. So that's the sort of
I'd be very happy indeed.